Alright, last but not least, my top 10 action figures of 2020. So, again, none of these guys right here are on the list, but these are a few honorable mentions. We'll go through them, but in my opinion, this is going to be the best list out of all of them that I've done so far. So, first starting off with Cosmic Ghost Rider. Again, love this figure. We made my top 3 Marvel Legends of 2020. But the thing is, there was some other figures in 2020 that surpassed this figure, and I limited my Marvel Legends on this list because in my opinion Marvel Legends kind of got surpassed by some of these lines this year, in my opinion. The Cosmic Ghost Rider is still great, but you won't be seeing a lot of Marvel Legends on this list. What the hell is this guy doing here? Wasn't I just giving him a hard time saying he was terrible? I still liked him. Remember, I said I liked him. He's not complete trash like people are making it up to see. He still photographs pretty well. You can get him in some pretty cool poses and whatnot, some cool gun actions, but the figure's disappointing in some ways, but he's cool in other ways. I do like the legs, but I hear that people have been breaking the legs a lot on this figure, but I still like to pose this guy around. I've taken a lot of pictures with him. DC Essentials Batman, great figure. He came out really early. I think he came out like January of 2020. He is a great figure. Probably one of the best Batmans, like, on the market, to me at least. The articulation's great. He doesn't come with any accessories, which was kind of lackluster, but I think he was only like $20. You can get him at like comic book stores, online retailers, like Big Bad Toy Store. But this is a great figure right here. The Mezco Summer Exclusive Far From Home Spider-Man, that is a great figure. Probably the best Mezco Spider-Man that they've ever released. I want them to do more stuff like this. Probably even get better at this articulation and this body mold with other Spider-Mans down the line. Obviously they're going to do another Spider-Man movie. But if they can follow this recipe as far as Spider-Man, they're going to be in good shape. The G.I. Joe classified Snake Eyes. So let me explain some of you guys. I do not like G.I. Joe. Never have. Probably never will. But one character, I've seen the movies, obviously. I haven't watched any of the cartoons or anything like that. But one character that I found really cool throughout the movies and the media and whatnot is Snake Eyes. He's just really cool looking. And I just love the fact that he's like a ninja, but he also has like military training also. That stuff is cool to me, man. So when the G.I. Joe figures came out this year, and I saw everyone was toy hunting and scalping and raffling them and, killing each other and just a whole bunch of nonsense over these damn toys. But I saw this guy at Walmart one time, and I was like, I don't know if I want him, so I passed up on him at the time. And then I saw him again at Walmart, and this is like right after like he shot up in price. I'm like, let me just check him out. This figure right here is dope. He would have made my top 10, but the only thing is I'm not a G.I. Joe fan. I'm not really a Snake Eyes fan, but as an action figure collector, this is one of the best like articulated bodies like ever. Like the articulation of this guy is incredible. So, Azrael, the DC Multiverse, Todd McFarlane, Azrael. This guy is really cool. Again, quick backstory. I see a lot of people like giving the McFarlane line a really hard time. I can see where they're coming from. I definitely understand where they're coming from, but you can tell that there's love put into these toys at the end of the day. And I love the sculpting. I love the paintwork. They are a little tall, and none of them are really on scale with each other, but I do like how this guy came out really nice. SH Figure Arts Taskmaster. I feel like I would love this figure even more if the movie came out, actually. We don't know anything about Taskmaster in this movie. I haven't watched a single trailer, but I love how this figure came out. And SH Figure Arts this year really impressed me. So, great figure, great accessories, great posability. The Mezco Black Bolt. This guy is really nice. You guys saw my review. You guys know I loved him. He came out great. I love the fact that he came with Lockjaw. Just a great figure overall. Rebel Tech Cable, really dope figure. I do plan on reviewing him. Actually, before I get started on the list, if you guys see any figures right here that you want me to review, please let me know. I will gladly review them. But this guy is really cool. I do have a couple problems with him, but we'll get into that in the review. And last but not least, the DC Multiverse, what do you call this guy? Thomas Wayne Batman. Cool figure. He's a little, he doesn't have a lot of pulsability in like the torso for me at least, but he still came out pretty cool. But with that being said, let's get into the list. At number 10, we have the Marvel Select Disney Store exclusive Taskmaster. Great figure right here. The accessories, the articulation, the bow. This is like an actual bow string. This is the dope figure, man. Marvel Select sometimes doesn't get the credit that they deserve, especially with the sculpt. I feel like people are kind of turned away from the articulation not being great, but this figure, the articulation is probably one of their best. Just the accessories come with these arrows. Like this is just a dope figure, man. Number 9 is going to the Mafex Dark Knight Returns Batman. This is a dope figure right here, man. I feel like he is a little lackluster in the accessories, especially for $94. Sometimes with stuff like this, the figure alone isn't enough. The accessories is sometimes what really sells a figure. But in this case, the figure's dope, but he's just a little lackluster in the accessories. My main problem with this guy is this head sculpt. I'm not the biggest fan of this head sculpt, and that's why he's so low on the list. I feel like if he came with like maybe 2 other head sculpts, maybe I don't know if I would really want a Bruce Wayne head sculpt, maybe like a more gritty head sculpt than this, like maybe a 5 o'clock shadow, some blood, like a black eye, like tears in the mask or something like that. But just this really isn't doing it for me. But the figure alone is dope, man. I love this figure. He came out great. Great representation of the story. Great sized him, paws. Just a great figure overall. Number 8 is going to the Marvel Legends Demo Goblin Build-A-Figure Wave Shang-Chi. Again, great figure. Love the articulation of this guy. The accessories, great figure. But like I said earlier, not a lot of Marvel Legends are on this list. This is one of the few that's on the list, and still, love this figure. Great figure. Probably one of the best figures on this body mold, to me at least. I feel like some of the figures on the body mold really haven't deserved it, and they've kind of like put like other figures that you would want to see on this body mold on the Bucky Cat mold. So I would like to see this mold used a lot more going forward with Marvel Legends. Number 7 is going to the SH Figure Arts Black Widow movie, Black Widow. I love this figure, man. Again, I really wish the Black Widow movie came out. That's probably one of the most anticipated movies I've been looking forward to for a very long time. This figure is great. I love the articulation. The accessories are great. I did have one break. One of her stingers like clipped off on me, and that kind of sucked. But this one is great, man. It's very similar to the Avengers Infinity War Black Widow, which I got. Shout out to Blue Sand. Thank you so much for giving me that figure at such a low price. That figure was great. This figure is almost better in a way. These are articulated. Such a great figure, man. Number 6 is going to the SH Figure Arts Avengers Endgame Mark 6 War Machine. Another SH Figure Arts. In the past like 2 years, I've been collecting a lot of SH Figure Arts because before I haven't. And I gotta say, man, they're a really nice toy line. I didn't have the money for it at the time, but what I have so far is great. I have a couple Star Wars figures from them. Obviously, more Marvel figures from them. Just great stuff. And this War Machine is really nice. I also have the Infinity War Wave War Machine, which I kind of slept on. I kind of had to pay a little more to get it, but this one is great. I do like the Infinity War version more than this one, but that has to do with me liking that suit more than this one. I felt like in Avengers Endgame, this was kind of like pushed back as far as like what he had in Infinity War with all the guns and but this is still a really cool suit. Really cool figure. He does have die cast on him, so this is great stuff, man. Number 5 is going to the Mezco exclusive Blade. Man, this is a dope figure right here. The original Blade that came out in 2019, that made my top 10 for that year. This one's making my top 10 for this year. That's how good of a body mold and the accessories that this figure has. This is actually one of my favorite versions of Blade. The bald head, the red goggles. He has a kind of a goatee, not really. The guns are really cool. I just love how this guy came out. Now, he was an exclusive, so he was really hard to get. And he shot up on the secondary market. People are scalping him like crazy. But he is dope. I love how he came out. Number 4 is going to the Marvel Legends Fantastic Four Super Scroll Builder Figure Wave Doctor Doom. Again, love this figure. Have 2 of him. Came out great. Great accessories. Great attention to detail. Don't really need to say a lot because he was my top 1 Marvel Legend of 2020. But still, love this figure. And I want to see more stuff like this from Hasbro. Things are getting intense, man. Number 3 is going to the Mafex Hush Batman. This guy is incredible. I saw a lot of people complain about him. Actually, this figure has sparked a lot of controversy in the toy community. People like it, people hate it, people are in between. I like it. I do have problems with him, but the problems are not all that, to me at least. I saw a lot of people complain about the cape and how, like, he's not as buff as people would like him to be. I wish he was just a little bit buffer, not too much, but just a little bit. But my main problem is the fact that the cape, I think it was on this side, broke. You can see it's kind of loose, and this side is a little more stiff. But it just snapped. So I had this problem with Thor, but at least the wire didn't come out with this one. It did on Thor, and that made it really, really tricky. But the accessories, the head sculpt, I love this head sculpt, man. Batman in blue was probably one of my favorite looks of Batman. I like him in black also, but when he's in blue, it's just like, man, I don't know what it is. I just love it. And the yellow belt, it's just a dope figure. He has a grapple gun. The grapple, it extends, you know, it comes with the Bruce Wayne head. It's just a dope figure, man. Number 2 is going to the Mezco Supreme Knight Batman. Man, this is such a dope figure, man. Again, he was one of those figures that was delayed. I think he was supposed to come out in like February 2020, but he got delayed. And he was well worth it. Definitely well worth it. This is probably, if not their best Batman. I really did like the Sovereign Knight Batman. I'm still trying to get the Ascending Knight. I know that Big Bad Toy Store has him for actually just how he was at cost like $80. So I'm gonna get that. But as far as like the trilogies of Batman, from being a young man to an old man, this is a great figure, man. Just the accessories, the fact that you can swap out the heads, the capes you can swap out. I love the suit. It's a take on the Dark Knight Returns Batman, and it's a cooler way. It's almost like the Dark Knight Returns Batman, the suit that he had with where he fought Superman, and the Batman versus Superman Batman all mixed together, and obviously classic Batman. But this is just such a dope figure. I love how it came out. And shout out to Mike Odom, my boy. He gave me this what do you call it, Spin Masters Batmobile as a Christmas present, because Costco had this as an exclusive, but you couldn't get into Costco without a membership, but he got it and he gave it to me. But thank you, man. And this is a dope figure, and he made my number 2 spot. And number 1 is going to the Mafex Carnage Man. I was not expecting this guy to be my number 1. First of all, I got him in December, like towards the end of the year, and I opened him, I think, on Christmas Day. But this guy's dope. The accessories, the posability, the fun factor, just the sculpt, the paint. It's just such a dope figure, and very similar to their Spider-Man. So, I mean, that figure made my top 1, I think, at for 2019. So this pretty much made that spot as well. But just such a dope figure, man. So that's my list. Great year of figures, man. Despite the pandemic, the figures that came out in 2020 were incredible, to say the least. And look at this. There's 3 Batman, only 2 Marvel Legends, no Spider-Man. Just a great year. And if it wasn't obvious, Mafex is my favorite toy line of 2020, and my current favorite toy line, believe it or not. Me personally, it's Mafex, Marvel Legends, Mezco. SH Figure Arts might be number 4, believe it or not. Then maybe Revoltech, then Marvel Select, but Mafex has been killing it. Again, the quality control issues that they've been having recently, it was mostly in 2020 that I started really having some quality control issues with Thor and the Batman's cape and his head. Spider-Man, Interverse Spider-Man, which you guys know how I felt about that figure. Just, yeah, I don't want to talk about that. But great year of figures. Thank you all for watching. Definitely be more active in 2021 on Instagram, YouTube, everywhere, man. I want to just get back into the game. yeah, man. Thank you all for watching. Catch you later. Peace.